So welcome to How to Live in Love. My name is Alexander Bell. And I'd like to tell you in this talk, or perhaps remind you, that there is a gift waiting for you right now. A gift which all you need to do is accept. The most magnificent, beautiful gift you could possibly imagine, that you could possibly ever ask for. Everything your heart longs for actually awaits you right now in this moment. And it is a gift. It is a gift from the divine realms. And I'm going to tell you how to accept that gift. Because it is what you're looking for. It is the missing piece of the jigsaw that makes sense of everything. It is that crucial missing part of your life, that gap in your heart, that gap in your soul. This is the gift that fulfills that gap, which makes you complete, which makes everything make sense. And all you have to do is accept it. All you have to do is receive it. So how do we receive this gift? Well, it's a spiritual gift. And the way we receive it is we receive it in every cell of our body. We receive it in our being. And this may sound oversimplified, but it really is this simple. The way we receive that gift is by relaxing our body. Because when we relax, we become open. Everything becomes open. When we're in tension, then every cell of our body is in a negative state, Every cell of our body is in a negative state, and it cannot receive this divine spiritual gift. I'm not going to put a name on that gift. You can, if you know what I'm talking about, you can put names on it. But names aren't really helpful. What we need to do is to feel it, to open up to it, to relax our body, to relax our heart. And when we relax, by the way, we are releasing fear. It is impossible, absolutely impossible, to be in a state of fear when you are relaxed. When your body's relaxed, when your heart is relaxed. You cannot be in fear. Because fear, when it enters our body, is tension. Tension is just another word for fear in our body. When we're in fear, we are tense. Usually our whole body tenses up. And our heart tenses up. So when we release that tension, we cannot remain in fear. It is physically impossible. Tension and fear are two sides of the same coin. When we release the tension, the tension is replaced by relaxation, then the fear dissipates. And the fear is replaced by a sense of ease, a sense of peace. And this is what we need. We need to feel this sense of ease, a sense of peace, a sense of security. We all really need to feel that. We're all desperately looking for that feeling. And of course, the consumerist world we live in, the consumerist society, tells us, if you do this, you'll feel that feeling. If you do that, if you pursue this, if you become this kind of a person, if you change your image to look like this or that, then you will feel peaceful, secure, and at ease. But that, of course, is not true. Because all you have to do is release the tension. You start with your body. You start just by noticing your body. Is it tight? Is it tense? Are your shoulders held tightly? Are your hands tense? Notice if there is tension in your body. This is the first step. Is there tension in your body? And just enjoy breathing as you notice, is there tension in your body? This isn't a technique. This isn't some kind of spiritual technique. This is just letting go of tension, which we all need to do, no matter what your belief system, no matter what your religion, no matter what you think is true or false. We all need to release the tension, because the tension is fear. I've been studying fear and the manifestation of fear for 20 years. And the only way to release fear is to release the tension. And the tension goes deep. As I said, it goes deep into our heart. Our heart is often held in a state of tension. A low-level state of anxiety where there's just tension and uneasiness in our heart. And that's the fear. That's the core fear. The fear of being threatened. The fear of not being safe. That's one of the fundamental fears all human beings have. The fear that they're not safe. The fear that they're not going to be provided for. The fear that they won't get what they need. So we have to release, let go. We just have to let go of those fears. So first of all, we breathe out and let go of the fear in our body. As I said, this is not a spiritual technique. This is just letting go of fear. And just like when we sigh, when we sigh, we release tension. It's like taking off a tight pair of shoes that we've been wearing for 10 hours. Imagine if you're wearing a pair of shoes which are a size too small for you, and you've been wearing them for 10 hours. And when you untie those shoelaces, and you kick off those shoes, and your feet just feel so free. There's so much relief. You just feel this relief in your feet that they're not held and contracted and held prisoner in these tight shoes. It's the same with your heart. When we sigh and we let go of the tension, we let go of the state of anxiety, and we just relax our heart, and we tell ourselves it's safe to relax our heart. There is no threat. Then it's like kicking off a tight pair of shoes. We just feel this relief, just feel like, phew. Oh, goodness me, I didn't realize how uncomfortable that was. I didn't realize how tight my heart had become. It's such a relief just to let go of the fear in your heart. And it's up to you to do it, by the way, because you are the one that's holding that tension there. It starts in your mind when you believe all the things that your mind tells you, all the threats, all the bad things coming in the future, all the insecurities you have, all the lack, all the doubt, all the worry. When you believe all those thoughts, then you are creating a prison of tension for your heart. So we have to stop listening to those thoughts and relax our heart in this moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when we've got more time, but now. This is the time. This is the time to let go of the tension in your heart and feel the freedom of your heart being unrestricted by fear. Because this is what stops us being free, is fear. Fear is the prison. Fear is the prison bars. That's what constricts us. That's what limits us. It's this feeling of fear in our heart. And when we let go of that feeling of fear, we actually feel free. We feel like, we feel relieved. We feel like, actually everything's okay. I feel unbound. I feel like I'm not pressurized. I don't have to run away from all these bad things. I can be free and at peace right here and right now, because you can. So when we let go of the fear from our heart, the tension from our heart, and we allow our body to relax as well, we just let our body to be comfortable, allow our muscles to be relaxed. And notice your arms. Your arms are particularly important because our arms and our hands are connected to our heart. It's like a direct line to our heart. So when we relax our arms, when we relax our hands, and just allow them to be heavy, and feel this kind of warmth that flows through our arms and our hands. Because you would not believe how subtle the tension is that we carry around. It's so subtle. And it's low level, and it's there all the time. And we don't realize it. We don't realize that we're in this reality of disharmony, because that's what fear is. It is disharmony. Imagine that life is a musical, a song, a musical note, a musical composition. And when we are experiencing disharmony, then that piece of music is disharmonious. It's unpleasant. It doesn't make us feel good. It's like It's like a soundtrack to a horror movie or something, or a soundtrack to some suspense thriller. It puts us ill at ease. We feel ill at ease. And that's fear. That's what fear does. It creates this disharmony. And we feel ill at ease as a result of that disharmony. And that disharmony is in our heart. So when we relax and we release the fear from our heart and from our muscles and from our body, from our shoulders, from our arms, from all the parts of our body that we can become aware of, when we release that tension, then harmony is restored to our body. This is so simple. But it's like the most fundamental change that we can make. The most fundamental part of healing is to replace disharmony with harmony. This is the fundamental core. Because if we're in disharmony, then we're on the path to sickness and disease and to darkness, increasing darkness. And we can choose right now to be in a state of harmony simply by relaxing our body. That's it. Simply by choosing to ignore every thought. And it's really important to choose to ignore every thought, because your mind will do everything it can to distract you, to stop you relaxing your body, to stop you relaxing your heart. Because your ego wants you in fear, because it feeds off your negative emotions. Your ego is a parasite, and it wants you distracted. It wants you in a subtle, low-level state of anxiety all the time. So it can just be drip-fed. It feeds off your negative emotions. So it'll try and trick you. It'll always try and trick you and say, oh, yeah, that sounds interesting. Relaxing sounds interesting, but I haven't got time to relax. Or I want to do this instead. Well, then we miss the gift. We come back to this most amazing, beautiful gift that awaits us when we let go of the tension in our heart and in our body. The most beautiful, fulfilling, magnificent, divine gift. And I'm not going to give it a name. We have to experience it to understand it. So it's good to take time just to come back to our body and see, okay, is there tension? Is there anxiety? Is there stress in my body? And if there is, which there usually is, just take the time. Don't give yourself a time limit. Just take the time to sit and be relaxed. Let go of the tension. Become aware of your body. Let go of the tension from every part of your body that you can. And then come to your heart and breathe out and say, okay, I want to let go of the tension in my heart. I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to be anxious. I want to be at peace. And you breathe out and relax the tension. And you can ask God to help you. Ask God to help you release the tension, to replace the tension in your heart with peace. Replace it with trust. Because the absence of fear is trust. Or when we choose trust, when we trust, there cannot be fear. So when we release our fear, even amidst a situation which looks very threatening, when we release the fear, then we enter a state of trust. We trust that we are safe. We trust that we are protected. We trust that we have everything we need and that it's safe to relax. It is safe to relax. But you have to choose to relax. No one can do it for you. Nobody. Not even Jesus can make you relax. And I do recommend calling on Jesus, by the way. I do recommend calling on the light of Christ, because he can take his light to the deepest, darkest corners of your heart, where nothing else can go. That's the purpose of Jesus Christ. He is the light that penetrates to the deepest, darkest chambers where fear is stored, your most fundamental fears that every human being has, the most fundamental fears, most of which are subconscious, they are illuminated by the light of Christ. You don't need to become a Christian. You don't need to read the Bible if you don't want to, although I recommend it, but you don't need to. You need to accept the light which purifies your heart to the deepest level, which shines to the deepest, darkest places. And then fear is eradicated. When that light shines in the deepest, darkest places, then the fear evaporates. The fear is illuminated. And you may find emotions come up, you may find fear comes up. To be released, the tensions come up. You become aware. With the light of Christ, you become aware of where you are afraid, what you are afraid of. And then you trust that you are safe, you trust that you are protected by God. And you relax. This is the part you have to play. You choose to relax. Because the fear will come up. The fears come up. You can't stop the fears coming up. They need to come up to be released. Your deepest insecurities need to come up to be released. And as they come up, you will see the idea, those thoughts in your mind, and you will feel the tension. You'll notice the tension come into your body as that thought, as that idea, or as that fear arises. You will notice the tension. So your response to that, as you notice the tension, is just to stay relaxed. Just to relax your body and say, I don't need to be afraid. I am safe. I don't need to be tense. I don't need this tension because I'm not threatened. I'm safe. I'm protected. I am divinely protected and I don't need fear. There's no reason to hold on to this fear anymore. I'm going to let it go. And so we let it go by relaxing our body, relaxing our muscles, relaxing our heart, and allowing our heart to be free from the constriction of fear, which is tension. Just allow our heart to be free. It is that simple. You are the prison guard. You are the warden who is guarding your prison, keeping yourself locked up in this prison of tension, tightness and constriction around your heart. And you have to set yourself free. You have to change from being a prison warden to a liberator. You have to say, I'm going to set my heart free. My heart needs freedom. It doesn't want to be imprisoned in fear anymore. I'm going to set my heart free by relaxing. I'm going to choose relaxation instead of tension. I'm going to trust that I'm safe and protected. I'm going to trust that God is looking after me. And I'm going to allow the light of Christ to shine deep, 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 to release the deepest fears so that I can be completely free of fear, because that's what you need. And you won't be able to be at peace as long as you know that there are deeper fears to be released. Some part of you will want to release them. Some part of you will want complete freedom from the deepest core fears, which are your fears of being vulnerable, your fears of being hurt, your fears of being abandoned, your fears of being insignificant and unloved. We have to allow those fears to rise so that we can let them go. And Christ will help you purify your heart. He will shine his light into the darkest places. And then when the fears arise, you just let them go. You say, okay, fantastic. These are the fears that I have. And they'll try and drag you in. They'll try and keep a hold of you. So you need to be vigilant. You need to watch carefully and see, am I in a state of fear? If I am, then I need to relax. All you do is you watch whether you are in a state of fear or in a state of peace. And you notice your heart. You watch your heart and you notice, is there fear or is there freedom? Is there happiness and relaxation in your heart or is there tension? If there's tension, you allow it to go and you relax your heart. So just enjoy this process of just letting go of all that inhibits you, all that restricts you, all that imprisons you. It's all unreal. It's all unreal. All the fears that come up in your mind, all of them, all the threats that your mind tells you threaten you, they are all unreal. They are created by your mind to keep you imprisoned, to keep you a prisoner of fear. And it is time to be free. It is time for you to be liberated from the shackles of fear so that you can enjoy the gifts that God has to give you, which are indescribable. They're what your heart longs for. And all you have to do is let go of fear and accept the luminous gifts So just enjoy relaxing as long as you want to. Enjoy feeling your heart free of fear. It's really that simple.